heartbreaking loss for the Arizona State Sun Devils, moving to 12-10 overall and 3-8 in Big 12 play. Here for the Devils Digest postgame show, Aiden O'Neill alongside publisher Hode Rubino. And Hode, a heartbreaking loss, swings both ways, but ultimately Kansas State came out on top.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Aiden, I've been covering this team for 25 years, and I've never seen a game where ASU was up by 16 points early in the second half just to surrender that lead and at one point actually be down 13 points in the second half. So that's a 29-point swing on their home floor, no less. ASU was still able to come back from that 13-point deficit and lead late in the game, and then it really was just a seesaw game between both teams. It's kind of funny because when ASU was leading 18-2, I think the knee-jerk reaction as to why Kansas State was playing so poorly is that they were having a hangover from that huge road win at Iowa State, snapping the Cyclones' 29 home court win streak. But give credit to Kansas State. They were able to really get out of their funk quite quickly. And ASU, as well as they began the first half on such a high note, that's how poorly they played down the stretch again. That did spill over to the second half. And it's not only a one-point loss, Aiden, but a one-point loss that was manifested in Jaden Quayton's missing the dunk, getting fouled, missing the 2 free throws, and that is really the difference in the game. Do you pin this on Jaden Quayton's? Absolutely not. There was a plethora of issues that were really hampering ASU. Not that it's fitting that it really ended in such a dramatic fashion, for the Sun Devils, but for a game that was absolutely crazy and then some, maybe it wasn't surprising to see the game ending the way it did.
And one of those big issues, Hode, was missing three-pointers. 12 for 37 from three-point land. It got them down early. When they tried to come back late, they couldn't mount that comeback. What did you see there as far as the missed threes go?
When head coach Bobby Hurley talked after the game, he said that out of the 25 three-point shot attempts in the first half alone, 19 of them were unguarded, meaning that there's not a player 3-4 feet in your vicinity. And those are three-point shots that you should be able to make. And ASU has definitely proven, not only in wins but even in losses, that their three-point shooting capabilities usually are definitely some of the better ones in the conference. But tonight, just open shot after open shot was not falling for them. Now, obviously, at some point, you just really can't keep on banging your head against the wall. And even if your three-point shot attempts are wide open time and time again, you just need to find other ways to execute your offense. You look at that win that they had on the road against West Virginia, who was a ranked team at the time, and that was a road victory that, at least in my opinion, showcased the best half-court offense that any Bobby Hurley team has really executed in his tenure, which spans 10 seasons at this point. And you just wonder, how come that attitude cannot be bottled and really exhibited in other games? Because, sure, this team definitely has an issue of closing out games and playing complete 40 minutes. Maybe now you're not going to play a complete 40-minute game each and every outing, but you just have to find other ways to execute your offense. And I think that Jaden Quayton's was able to find mismatch after mismatch in the screen game. You're under the basket filming the game, and in your highlights, we're going to see many times there's a player that's like a good 6 inches shorter than Jaden Quayton, guarding him in the paint. And here's ASU not able to get the ball down low to him, shooting one three-pointer after another. That's an issue. Another issue is not having Sean Phillips meant that a player like Amir Ali, a freshman himself, just like Jaden Quayton's, was going to see a lot more playing time. And it just seems like every time he comes to the game, is just chucking up 1 3 after another. Now, I'm not saying he was the epitome of the three-point shooting issues that ASU had, but it was just frustrating that if Plan A is not working, there's not a Plan B, there's not a Plan C. It's really just all or nothing from three-point range. And look, a lot of players did really have issues. I mean, both the main bench players, with the absence of Phillips, Ali, and Jason Sanin, combined for over 8 points, and in such a close game, that's just a luxury that you can have. Then you have the quote-unquote ugly side of the game. For the second time in the second game in a row, you have an ASU player ejected, and this one shocked me because Adam Miller, to me, is an unquestionable leader of this team. Every time he comes out and talks in the post game, you just are just blown away by how mature and how insightful he is. And the emotions, the frustrations really got to him. One of the leaders, if not the leader of this team, and he gets ejected. It's a play that really didn't hurt ASU as much as the B.J. Freeman ejection did hurt them against Arizona. But nonetheless, that's just really just one more issue that you can point to ASU and just see that things just unraveling. So it's really was a frustrating night for ASU. And they let Kansas State shoot over 46% for the game, and this is happening on your home court. Prior to this season, ASU never lost 4 conference home games. Obviously, that was accomplished against Arizona, and here they are losing their 5th home conference game in this season. You can talk about the Big 12 being tough and everything, and I'm not saying there's no merit to it, but you look at all the home losses, and I feel like I'm a broken record. When you look at Baylor, the Baylor loss, the UCF loss, the loss to Iowa State, the loss to Arizona, and here tonight to Kansas State. These are not games that ASU is getting blown out, but it's just really not playing complete basketball, just one critical mistake after another, and it just seems like this team really has no margin for error. I mean, they're not playing the Oregon States and the Cal and the Washington States like the good old days of the Pac-12. They're playing some very talented teams that maybe in some cases aren't like head and shoulders above them in terms of talent, but in terms of really honing on their mistakes and making ASU pay dearly for each and every one of them. That is a medicine that ASU is just swallowing seemingly on a nightly basis.
And Hode, with all the ups and downs this season, it feels like ASU has hit their low point. Nowhere to go from here. But in your eyes, where can they go? Only up?
Look, I mean, I'll be honest. To me, all this talk about ASU being on the bubble for the NCAA tournament really should have stopped, in my opinion, a week or two ago, because I just feel that this team is going to have the mother of all turnarounds in one of the toughest conferences in the country to even be legitimately on the bubble come Selection Sunday. Yes, I know you have the Big 12 tournament to maybe try to remedy everything that didn't go well for you during the regular season, but I just think that's really asking too much at this point. I mean, I really don't see ASU being part of Selection Sunday. Now it's just a matter of, okay, can they just finish this season in a respectable manner? But when you just see the losses mounting, and again, a lot of them taking place on your home court, so who knows, what can happen, on the road. Even though, like I said, one of the best games ASU did play was that win against West Virginia. They also won in Colorado when they had basically a 6-man rotation. But I think that maybe some of the competition from here on out is really going to be much tougher. And I think the character of this team is getting tested time and time again. I just don't think it's a test that they're really passing, let alone passing with flying colors. So I'm really curious to see how ASU can, finish out the regular season, how they present themselves in the Big 12 tournament. It's just really, really disappointing that probably the most talented team that Bobby Hurley has assembled in his Tempe tenure is going to go down as one of the most underachieving squads that he did have at ASU. And, again, it's just a matter of just not really playing smart basketball and not really being able to produce, I'm not going to say a 40-minute solid effort, but maybe a 30-minute solid effort. That is something that ASU is incapable of. I think Bobby Hurley, to his credit, was very transparent in the postgame tonight. He said, we're trying to fix this. I'm searching for answers, and whatever we're coming up is not working. I think in a nutshell, that really describes the current state of the Sun Devils.
An absolutely gut-wrenching loss, 71-70. ASU will get back in the action on Sunday at Oklahoma State. But until then, for Hod Rubino, I'm Aiden O'Neill, signing off from Desert Financial Arena.